gotta get this shit a little bit to kick in. RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. Say connection right there, that's weird. Yeah, man, it's Friday. Weekend. Get a little bit of time away from work. Hang out with the kids, do productive shit, do some YouTube shit. I'm trying to keep my YouTube and shit going and flowing. I should be way more popular than I am, and that's okay. I give myself a little bit of time for growth and development. But man, I don't know how, like, yeah, I think a lot of people need to listen to what the fuck I got to say. And I really don't mean that to be an ego thing. I mean that to be reaching out for some level of objective truth, and then some oneness, man, because I think a lot of objective truth is out here, and people are lost in this idea that everybody got their own opinion and to each his own. And I think that's a flawed way to look at shit. There is some objective truth going on here, because all of this, everyone has their own opinion, and to each his own is getting us nowhere. To each his own is making every religious faith, government position, or ideology, it all comes to America and try to coexist here. Now, I understand the melting pot thing and all of that. I'm with all of that. I like the whole idea of the melting pot thing. I think the entire world should be pretty much like that, with maybe some free borders and things going on. But when y'all say free borders and then y'all look at the government bullshit that's going on, y'all say, how are we gonna have a free borders around the world? No, that don't make no sense. And then you make something like anarchy, this idea that nobody should be ruling anybody else, no victim, no crime, those kind of things. Y'all think that all of that just leads to chaos, because they get you trapped inside of a game of government business, and then when they don't got no border control, you think that open borders sound dangerous. Only inside of this fucking government bullshit game that we got, that's when it sounds dangerous. If this was a natural flow of things, there will be no political conquest to be had by invading another country. They got y'all heads fucked up, bro. They fuck with y'all from so many angles, and they keep trying to trap y'all inside of the game of government, man, that you think that you're dependent on them, but it's only because you're trapped inside their game, man. It's weird. The police make it a reality based on dependency. But if every man, woman, and child, well, if every child was brought up to be a man that understood that his protection is his own responsibility, and not just in the sense of a one-on-one fight with someone, I'm talking about defending your life. That's your job. And all of the brave and moral qualities that you will find in an ideal cop should be what it is that you should be telling every child that they have to be for themselves. And then you get serious about that with fucking weapons training and all of that shit early in life. And then they know that it's up to them, and then they have the tools to stand up tall in the face of that kind of adversity. If somebody was threatening their fucking life, why the fuck is it okay for any human being to not be aware of, and then to stand 10 toes down when it comes to the idea of protecting themselves? Who the fuck else fight could it be in the first place? If you did this, man, the police wouldn't be as necessary as they are. They just wouldn't be. And all they really do is write citations and show up to domestic violence disputes. That's a big bulk of what it is that they do. They gotta highlight the other stuff so that you feel like you really need them. You really need them to fucking settle the bullshit that they started. It's a dependency thing that magnifies their role that they pretend to play, when you really don't need them much at all, man. As soon as you take your own protection into your own hands and then ask a fucking police officer what else does he have to offer, it's going to be a whole bunch of citations and rules and bullshit that you don't even really agree with. And even if you kind of understand where they're coming from, you're still going to wish that they weren't there to threaten you about it. You can understand how speeding could be dangerous, but you still also wish that they wasn't there to threaten you about that shit. It's a weird dynamic, man, and we did this shit to ourselves. That's what I think. With this government dependency bullshit. Shit is crazy. You make your children too dependent on you, and you know that that's a bad thing. You can't coddle them. You know that. You got to find a nice balance of taking care of them, providing, protecting them from the world and from themselves when you know that they stupid. You know you was stupid as a kid. You know you was dumb as fuck. I don't care how grown I thought I was at 21. I was not grown, man. Far from it. I'm 43 years old. I feel like I just got grown in the past like 5-6 years maybe. I started being like super mature about the things that matter. You know, the whole picking and choosing your battles. That's the thing of maturity. Knowing when to not just fucking jump off the cliff in your emotions or whatever about every little thing because you got your eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel I am about my activism. I don't give a fuck how much I rally against law enforcement and government. The lone wolf thing is so far from me because I'm way too smart for that. I know good and goddamn fucking well that's going to make it harder for the rest of us who really want that freedom and justice, because they're just going to use that shit against the community of people who feel that way. Every little thing that they can gather, even if they got to fake it, that's what they're going to do to try to demonize what it is that they don't want to have to face one day. And that is a whole bunch of armed ass loving Americans that just want the bully to stop. That's the fucking nightmare with a K. Fuck them. That's what they don't want. That's what you should be then. Aggressive as fuck and trying to love everybody until they show you different. And as soon as they show you different, then you have to say, this difference doesn't matter, and it's coming by way of a pseudonym, a title that you've given yourself in a fucking uniform and all this other shit. As soon as I realized that I was trying to love you, but you seem to not give a fuck about that, you rather just abuse me or dominate me or control me, you have disqualified yourself. I don't have to fucking love you. Take cover. The fuck do you think this is? This is life, bro. And death is too serious for me to get lost in between like I have to give my life to some illusion of authority. Makes no sense at all. All I have to do is abide by the moral codes of not creating a victim. And as soon as I do something that does not create a victim, I shouldn't have to hear no shit from nobody at all. And when you still challenge me, that sounds like a threat to my life, because I know before you challenge me, you agree to challenge my entire life about these issues. Every time a cop pull you over, he threatening your life. Abide or you're gonna die. Move too fast and you're gonna die. Make it feel uncomfortable, you're going to die. That you gonna die part is behind every fucking thing they say to you in a traffic stop, even if they don't say it out loud. If he said it out loud, he would just be thinking out loud. He would not be exaggerating. That is exactly what it is that he means. What the fuck is going on in life? Figure it out. Figure it out, man. I ain't no better than nobody, because you can understand this shit too. If you don't think in that way, I'll help you. I'll put it in front of you. You can choose for yourself. Then choose for yourself how you think or feel about these things. But if you understand what it is that I'm saying, hey man, kudos to you, man. You mile ahead of a whole lot of other people that are just capable of being fooled when they think they're voting works, or conspiracy theories aren't worth their fucking time or energy because CNN says that this is a conspiracy theory, and laugh it off, brush it off to the side, and move on with a fucking credible news source. They ass, kiss my dick. Y'all cap. All y'all do is cap. Lie, lie, lie. It's your job. You've been caught lying before. You have admitted lying or fudging the truth before. We've already caught you, motherfuckers. How deeply exposed you guys are right now is amazing to me. Really is, because the average person will go, man, there's something wrong. Even if they don't get as far as I get. A lot of people know that something is wrong here. And very often, if you ask people, do they think that there's been some manipulation in the perception of what's going on, and that manipulation in and of itself, excuse me, pardon me. So, you know, people do really understand though that something is seriously wrong, man. That there's an obvious attempt to manipulate what it is that we think and feel, so we can be lost in the confusion, so they can gain ground on us in this state of confusion. They also like the confusion and losing things in obscurity, because then when I say shit that I say, you will go, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense, but how much am I really supposed to apply that to what it is that I'm seeing? What the hell is it that I should be doing if any of this is true at all? What's the truth, man? I don't know, man. Trey sounds good, but I don't know. And then you just go back to your life, and that's okay. But that's what they know. It's like trying to get a kid to pick what flavor ice cream they want, but you got Baskin Robbins fucking 32 flavors in this bitch. The kid cannot choose. Every one that he looks at goes, man, this looks good right here, right? It's keeping you from being decisive about what the fuck is going on. It's keeping you from understanding what's really the true story and what's not. And then some people get provoke reaction to have to respond as if they are experts or they understand all of the ins and outs inside of a particular topic that they can force their political view onto you. Never take it that what I'm saying is me forcing my political view onto you. I'm trying to present to you what it is my train of thought is, where I'm coming from, how detrimental I think it is to the true idea of freedom. And then if you disagree with me, I welcome you to disagree with me, because this is the path that I'm going. You can come with me if you want to. But I really do think that I'm making some very serious, valid points and observations that seem to be escaping most people, and motherfuckers should hear what I got to say so they can choose. Like anything else that you're choosing from. Put me on the fucking menu of choices to be made about what the fuck it is that I'm talking about. Because I think that I'm very precise in exactly what it is that I'm saying is going on. And it's all urgent enough that just the state of confusion is enough for me to say fuck them. I can't figure out what happened to Kennedy. I said fuck y'all when I first heard that shit, and I couldn't figure it out, and nobody else around me could figure it out. All these grown ass adults and historians and all these other people examining this Kennedy thing, and nobody can just say, but I'll tell you exactly what happened. I can explain to you how we got lost in it. I can explain to you what the truth is and how it's undeniable. Here is the fucking scoop, beginning to end, boom, stamp, done, solved. No one has. We cannot figure that shit out. Waiting for 50 fucking years so everybody involved can die so you can release the information, and then Trump didn't release shit. Cap. They all fucking lie, manipulate, twist, and they use the carrot on the stick is the fucking information that they know that you need, that you're searching for, so you can figure out what choices and decisions you need to be making, and then allow your actions to match your energy, your perception. They don't want you to be armed, loving everybody you can, avoiding this fucking fight about these divisions of race and gender and all this other shit. They want you to be lost in that so that you don't fight them. If you say you don't give a fuck about that and all you care about is who is the real enemy to bully, who plans on benefiting from our downfall here in America, number one, anybody who can and is posturing themselves to benefit from that needs to be addressed very thoroughly. Period. That's just hypothetical. I don't know what the fuck else you're even supposed to do. You address the guy that's standing on your fucking porch with the ski mask and the crowbar, and he's winding up to smash your window. You're not gonna wait for him to smash the window, crawl in, introduce yourself to him, and ask him, do he think he got the right address? What did he come in there for? And does he have any sources? The fuck is you at, man? I'm not at, man. Look, they want the fucking AR-15 off the fucking streets. That's the fucking red flag. You're supposed to check them very thoroughly when they do that shit, and then dare them to bust a move, because I don't give a fuck how moral they claim to be in trying to protect. Who the fuck you trying to protect when you tell me to get my guns up so that I do not have them to protect my kids? It don't sound like protection at all. Shut the fuck up. You're never going to get that shit over on me. I'm offended that you tried. It sounds ridiculous that you even try to get me with that bullshit. I'm not giving you nothing. There is no buy back. It was never yours. How are you gonna buy it back? This is strange to me, the language that y'all use and this bravado that y'all bring when y'all say this dumb shit, and then you brush your shoulders off and pop your collar like you just said some fucking fly shit and you ain't saying nothing. It sounded like a threat to me. Fuck your magical paper and all of that. All I hear is threats. You can dress it in all that bullshit all you want to. I know what you said to me. You said comply or die. And I won't comply. You better hope you don't die for that shit. The fuck out of here. Trying to wrap people up in the illusion, man, so that they lose themselves, so that they never gain ground on what it is that we're supposed to be doing. Black, white, man, fuck all that shit. They turn the lights off. All of you motherfuckers are who you are. Dead man walking. That's your sentence. That's your death sentence. They turn those lights off and open the fucking borders up and write on paper beforehand out here that any officer adhering to any orders to control the civil unrest can aggressively approach and disarm anybody with a firearm, period. Because during this state of emergency, no one can be armed. This is what they're trying to get down on paper so that they go, okay, man, we got some of you motherfuckers wrapped up in the illusion of authority. Once we say it's illegal, you will disarm yourselves because you're scared about what we're going to do to you. The rest of you motherfuckers will look crazy by us and by your neighbors and your family and your loved ones. And if it ever turns into any physical aggression, they just going to go ape shit crazy on us, pretending to be justified in doing this because they wrote it on the paper. It was law. It became law. Get the fuck out of here. It became law is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life. Y'all chased everybody in Illinois about the weed for how fucking long. Then y'all fucking freed the weed about 3 years ago. Now y'all trying to act all virtuous while y'all tax it to hell and do nothing to pay for any consequences or repercussions to the entire fucking justice system that thrived on the fact that y'all had been wrong about that weed and then y'all changed y'all mind. Shut y'all stupid asses up. I just crashed the fucking Marion City Hall meeting last night. I'm in there with my guy from Butt Crack News Network, and he in there dissing some racist cop that was in there proving to be racist, and they tried to sweep it under the rug or some shit. And as he gets up to get his 5 minutes to speak to the fucking public about that shit, the racist cop looked at me just because I'm with him as if I got something to do with the racist shit that he's about to blame him for when I don't know this officer that he about to point out. And the officer don't know me. I got nothing to do with the case. But he see this Butt Crack News Network in here with a black man. So when he get to talking this racist shit, the cop looked at me like this. No exaggeration. He did me like this. Right into my eyes, bro. Total, like, micro movements and adjustments to his focus and his vision, looking me right in my eyes, trying to intimidate me. Ha! Me, for what? Because I'm with this guy, he gonna talk about some unrelated shit that ain't got nothing to do with me, about you being a racist cop. And you just fucking showed your hand, Mr. Smart Guy. He used to be FBI or CIA, or maybe FBI or something, this guy. And now he's the chief of police in Marion. The motherfucker literally started doing what my man's described him for being guilty of doing right in front of me when I am unrelated to the shit that they got going on because I came in there to talk about my Hugger AR ownership. The cop looked at me like that. In front of, I was live streaming. I should have put the camera on him. But I did point him out when my man started talking shit. If you didn't see the stream from last night, go check it out. I turned the camera towards him and I put my finger in front of the camera to point to him to say that this is the guy that my man's is talking about. And he was just looking at me like that. I was going to leave him alone and ignore that because none of that got nothing to do with me at all until he started looking at me when my man started talking. So I put the camera on him like this motherfucker right here to point him out. And then I fucking put him on blast when I get up there to speak myself. This is what people like that don't understand. I was never young, in the streets, gang banging, crash out, doing dumb shit, being careless with life as if I'm never going to die. I was never like that as a kid, for the most part. I'm a late bloomer with some things because I tend to kind of be like that now. I know that there's this fear that if you poke the bear or if a cop wants to be corrupt and get on your ass, they can plant things and intimidate you and do all these other things. All of that shit, I won't say that it excites me, but something about it says that that's such bullshit that anybody could do that I wish a cop would try to do me like that. Because I'd be body cammed up, armed as fuck, every single confrontation. And if I felt like he was going to do that to me, maybe I would do that to him because you can't just... You're not going to just bully me and like try to fuck with my shit. He's out of his mind. Because all of that eye to eye that he gave me when he was doing that shit turned me on a little bit. I wish you would. I don't give a fuck where you've been or what you've been through. I bet you can't bully me. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I'm doing open carry demonstrations in Marion all spring, summer, and fall. Fuck you. Fuck is you talking about? You think I go for that intimidation shit? I like that shit. I like that shit, bruh. Don't play with me. Because I have your badge. Because you'll be body cammed up and I will be giving you the most fucking vicious verbal ass whooping you have ever gotten. And I ain't got to curse or threaten you. But I will treat your life. I'll treat your life with your shit, no less. U.S. Title 18, Section 241 and 242 says that if you violate anything in your oath of office to defend the Constitution, even if you use something that made its way to law status, that is still somehow a violation that should have never achieved law status in the first place. Even if you use that, it doesn't matter. If I can prove that you have violated that shit, you go to prison. Then we get examined every single time that you violate it. No statute of limitations on none of this stuff. What's so funny is that every cop, judge, and lawyer is guilty of this. All you got to do is call them out on this specifically and then start examining them. I will U.S. Title 18, Section 241 and 242 the entire police department. It's worth a shot. I'd sure try it. It makes some. I will challenge all of y'all to your office. I think all y'all deserve to be in prison and be fired. And it's proof. There's proof. This is evident. I don't play that bully shit, bruh. I like that shit. Turns me on. I can't fucking wait to get out in Marion with an open carry demonstration. With the cameras going. Doing all of the hugging. What could bring a cop into life while I'm out there doing that would justify him being aggressive at all? Nothing. There's going to be absolutely nothing he could possibly do or say. He damn sure not going to come out there and hug me. I hear that this man is overtly racist. Even been caught giving that evil eye, trying to intimidate a child. To intimidate a child, a little girl. Stood up over her. All type of shit. That kind of thing is such an exaggerated caricature of what it is that I say that law enforcement and other government careers afford the worst of us. It allows you to be those things and then hide behind that government illusion so that you got the best chance of being able to do that. Because this same man, I don't care how tough he is or where he came from, if he was to be fired and then also see me out on the streets, do you think that he would make this deep eye contact with me as if we were two bears in the woods in a standoff, in a staring competition? Do you think that he would just do that to me just because? We're in a government building. He's a police officer. Everybody here will back him up about anything. But while he was looking at me, if I was like, what the fuck is you looking at? Now he's got the possibility of making a scene, getting me out of there, holding me in contempt and all type of other shit. Trespassing me from the place and all type of shit. Because he did this and my response would have been, what the fuck are you looking at? He needs that illusion. Without that shit, he know he'd have got punched the fuck up for looking at me like that. If he never would have got that job as a police officer and he saw the same me on the fucking streets, he will refrain from making that kind of eye contact with a fucking stranger who he doesn't know. Because even if he had his gun, I got mine too. You ain't got no badge, we super even. Nobody sees the difference. There's no illusion to hide behind. He wouldn't then move forward to be acting the way he was acting. He is a clear pussy. The chief of police in Marion is a pussy. He's riding on the illusion his entire career and everything that he does, and even the way that he was trying to make eye contact with me before he even heard who I was. When I got up there and said who the fuck I was, I hope he heard me. I hope he goes, oh, that's the guy with the AR. He's here. Yeah. Talking my shit, you have no idea what I be talking about. You think I'm just standing out there just being an average citizen with a gun and a sign trying to talk. I am out there talking that shit, calling y'all out, lifting your skirt. You're all pussies. You're all bitches. Hiding behind that illusion, pretending to be somebody's fucking boss. And you would not carry that same energy for the same reasons without the badge, though. Come out here in society and act like that without the badge. That you're somebody's boss, that you can stop a car with your gun and demand ID. It all sounds insane when you say it without the badge. It's just as insane with the badge to me. It's even more so because it's eerie that y'all figured out a way to get people to accept something that they know they don't want to accept that. They wouldn't accept it from me, nobody would. You wouldn't accept it from a Crip or a Blood, nobody would. You stopped them immediately. If that same Crip gets off the streets enough to go through the police academy and achieve the ultimate goal of obtaining a badge, that same guy can then do it after achieving that. I think that's weird. You don't think that's weird? I think it is. I think it's downright absurd, actually. But this illusion of the authority has gotten people to think that this is normal, that it's normal, accepted. It was here before I got here, so accepted. I think this shit is fucking bullshit. I know it is, as a matter of fucking fact. And what I know as a matter of fucking fact is if this guy didn't have that badge, he wouldn't try and treat me like that. He damn sure wouldn't do it out on the street. He damn sure wouldn't do it when I was suited up either. Tell him to quit his job, throw in the towel, turn in his gun and his badge, and then come out here and bring his own gun. And then give me that same look out there on the corner when I'm out there. I bet you he wouldn't. He know what happened to him. He know what happened to any man, and it'd be justified. He'd have to come out there with that badge, period. Huh. But body cam, totally verbally calling his ass out, I threaten him with a lawsuit. I get on his ass. I want to know what you've done in your career, because if it violated U.S. Title 18, Section 241 and 242, then man, you will get your ass the fuck up out of there. You'll be looking for employment elsewhere. Goofy. Bullshit. Check out the live stream from last night. The shit was good. I really wish that hey, I'm going to another one because I'm hoping to see him there. I'm kind of in a this place has an allure to it when you get inside of a government building, and then once you break it down and you start breaking down the barriers and shit, and you come into a place like this, it's like Neo decoding the Matrix. I really realized right then that these are just people in here playing pretend. They're all up at this fucking this long curved bench, and they all got their names built into the little signs that's in the bench, and they're all going through having their little votes on different things. And of course, you might need some of these things to kind of guide society in a way, but they all think that they're better than us, though. You can tell because all of their seats are raised, right? It all kind of feels like something in there, and it's weird to me. It's like grown ass kids playing pretend, man. Because at what point in life could we have this interaction between us like this, where you would accept it as reality? If we were doing this as kids, you'd be like, oh, look at these cute kids playing this game. And then as teenagers, you go, oh, okay, is this a play? Are y'all making a student film or something? And then later on in life, you realize that people do this shit for real. Call themselves lieutenant, whatever, private, whatever, officer, whoever, secretary, blah, blah, blah. All of this shit is just bullshit pseudo names and shit. Ain't none of y'all morally superior to me. Some of y'all got drug habits. Some of y'all got childhood trauma that you never really addressed, suffer from depression, PTSD, and all other type of shit. Some of y'all are just flat out dumb, like just not real smart at all about a lot of stuff. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean literally low IQ. Don't think that nobody with a low IQ has found themselves into a government position. That's ridiculous. And some of you ones with the high IQ have such an ego attached to your IQ score that you think that every little thing fools the average person, because you think the average person is super duper dumb, when in reality the average person, they got a little bit of sense about them. They might not always be honest in their observation or expressive in what it is that they think, see, and feel about the world. You got to stop people on the streets and fucking ask them, and then you'll realize a lot more of these people are going, man, fuck y'all, than what you think. A lot of people are looking upside your head like y'all crazy with the stank face, like what the fuck is government into, right? What's to y'all right now? Right? A lot of people feel like that. But I feel this fucking cop with the fucking death stare last night, he's one of those guys that thinks that if he can't outsmart you, then he will outman you with this these little microaggressions and shit. And I think that shit is funny because he's a lesser man than me off top. I already know that. I know he is a pussy because he wouldn't act like this without that badge. He would have no reason, no angle, no safety net to fucking catch him from falling. And he's flexing it because he had no reason to really look at me like that when I had nothing to do with nothing. I was not anybody that he ever knew or even met before or arrested or none of that shit. And it was just weird because he looked at me like he had a personal grudge, like he was expecting for me to take the stand on a murder case and testify against him. He had that kind of a death stare looking at me like I was about to say something that he was trying to keep me from saying by acting like that before I went up to speak or something like that. He gave me a look like, you better not say what I think you're gonna say. But he don't know me though. It was just weird, bro. I was undeserving of that look that he gave me, and he just can't hide like how much of a bully that he is, and that he thrives on the intimidation. And that's just strange to me because he just picked a fight with somebody that's not gonna fucking lay down for him. Chief of police, none of that bothers me at all. I just heard a whole bunch of fucking silly willy ass, let me scribble my name on his name tag shit. I am chief of police, blah blah. I don't give a fuck who you is. You a man. You're less of a man than me, actually. Now I'm on one. Fuck is you talking about? RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang get a fucking gun and tell the cops that they are just men and that they can't even abide by their own damn rules. They will be exposed and then somebody gonna get their ass the fuck up out of here. Get in the cage where you belong, pussy. Fuck is up.